You want to know what's worse than dying in the wasteland? It's living long enough to realize you've become the very thing that makes it hell. This is the confession of Marcus Dane, a caravan trader who spent 23 years walking the deadliest routes in post-apocalyptic America, and discovered that the real monsters aren't the raiders or mutants. They're the ordinary people forced to make inhuman choices just to see another sunrise. And if you genuinely enjoy this kind of dark storytelling, consider subscribing and liking the channel, but only if it truly resonates with you. Because what you're about to hear isn't just another wasteland tale. It's a mirror showing what any of us would become when survival means selling your soul 1 mile at a time. You ever smell burning rubber mixed with rotting flesh? That's what the I-15 trade route smells like on a good day. On a bad day, you're the one burning. I'm recording this on an old holotape I found in a dead scaver's pack. Battery's almost gone, but I need someone to know what really happens out here. What it's really like being a caravan trader in this godforsaken wasteland. My name's Marcus Dane. I've been running trade routes for 23 years, and I can tell you right now, I won't make it to 24. Started when I was 15, young, stupid, thought the caps would make me rich, thought I'd see the world beyond the walls of my settlement. I did see the world all right, saw it burning, saw it eating itself alive, one trade route at a time. You think you understand danger? Let me paint you a picture. Close your eyes. No, wait, keep them open. You need to see this. Imagine you're walking alongside 2 Brahmin, those 2-headed cattle that survived the bombs. Their heads never look the same direction, always watching different threats. Smart animals, smarter than us. Each one carries 300 pounds of goods, water purifiers, ammunition, medicine, pre-war tech that people would kill their own mothers to possess. And they do. God help me, they do. The weight of those goods, that's not just cargo. That's a target painted on your back in neon, letters 50 feet high. Every raider gang from here to New Vegas can smell valuable cargo from miles away. They've got scouts. They've got informants in every settlement. Hell, sometimes your own guards are in on it. What do you think really drives someone to betray their own caravan? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to know if I'm the only one who feels this way. 3 weeks ago, I was running medical supplies from the Mojave outpost to Novak. Simple run. Done it 100 times. Had 4 guards, 2 other traders, and enough firepower to take down a pack of geckos. Should have been routine. The thing about routine in the wasteland, it's a lie you tell yourself so you can sleep at night. We hit Nipton at sunset. You know what sunset means out here? It means the real monsters wake up, not just the ferals, though those radiation-rotted ghouls are bad enough when they're running at you in packs, their skin falling off in chunks, screaming, through throats that shouldn't be able to make sound anymore. No, I'm talking about the human monsters. The ones who chose to become what they are. Caesar's Legion had been through Nipton the week before. Crucifixions along the road. The smell. Christ, the smell never leaves you. Burned flesh mixed with that sweet sick stench of decay. Bodies still moving on those crosses, not quite dead, not quite alive. One of them tried to speak when we passed, just gurgling, begging. My guard, Tommy, wanted to put him out of his misery. I told him no. You never know who's watching in Legion territory. Show mercy to their victims, and you become one yourself. But the Legion wasn't our problem that day. They'd moved east, chasing NCR patrols toward Camp Forlorn Hope. No, our problem was worse. Our problem had been traveling with us the whole time. Sarah, sweet Sarah, who joined us in Good Springs, said she needed safe passage to Novak to find her brother. Paid in advance, 40 caps and 2 stim packs, helped with the Brahmin, shared her water ration. Laughed at Tommy's stupid jokes around the campfire. She'd been marking our route the entire time. I found the marks later, after everything went to hell. Little scratches on rocks, bent twigs. Things you'd never notice unless you knew what to look for. She'd been leaving a trail for the fiends, those chem-addicted psychopaths out of Vault 3. They followed us like vultures follow a dying animal. You want to know what real fear is? It's not the moment they attack. It's the moment just before, when you realize you've been watched, when every shadow could have eyes, when every rock could hide a rifle, when the person sitting next to you around the fire might be counting the caps they'll get for your scalp. The fiends hit us just outside Novak, right where the road narrows between those limestone cliffs. Perfect kill box. Sarah put a knife in Tommy's kidney before the first shot was fired. He looked at her like a confused child, like he couldn't understand why his friend was killing him. That look haunts me more than the screaming that came after. 40 fiends. 40 against 6 of us. Well, 5 after Tommy went down. They came at us with pool cues wrapped in barbed wire, fire axes, and those goddamn bear trap fists they love so much. All of them so high on Jet and Psycho they didn't even feel it when we shot them. I put 3 bullets in one's chest and he just laughed. Laughed until his lungs filled with blood. We lost the Brahmin in the first minute. Explosive. Collar Sarah had planted. Turned my entire livelihood into red mist and scattered supplies. Medicine burning. Clean water soaking into the radioactive dirt. Weeks of profit, gone. But profit stops mattering real quick when you're trying to keep your intestines inside your body. I survived because of a Deathclaw. You heard that right. A Deathclaw saved my life. Not on purpose, mind you. The thing came charging out of the quarry, probably disturbed by all the gunfire. 20 feet of muscle, teeth and claws that could gut a man in power armor. The fiends forgot all about us, started screaming, shooting at it. Some tried to run. You ever see a Deathclaw hunt? They don't just kill. They play with their food when they're not hungry. This one grabbed a fiend by the leg, swung him around like a rag doll, used his body to beat another raider to death. The sound, wet meat slapping against rock, bones breaking like dry twigs. I ran, left everything, left everyone. James was still alive, trying to crawl away with half his face melted off from a flamer. Maria was pinned under a dead fiend, screaming for help. I left them all. That's the first rule of the Caravan routes. You don't survive by being a hero. You survive by being faster than the slowest person in your group. Made it to Novak with nothing but the clothes on my back and a 10mm pistol with 2 bullets left. The guards at the dinosaur didn't even question the blood. They see it all the time. Traders stumbling in, half dead. Another caravan lost to the roads. They gave me water, a place to sleep, and in the morning, they asked if I wanted to sign on with another caravan heading out. I said yes. That's the sickness of it. You know, you're going to die out here, but you go anyway. Because what else is there? Sit in a settlement, slowly starve, become a farmer, pray the radiation storms don't kill your crops, join one of the factions, become the monster you've been running from. No, the road calls to you, whispers, promises of caps, of adventure, of maybe, just maybe, finding that one big score that lets you retire. Pre-war military tech, a cache of fusion cores, a map to an untouched vault. We all chase ghosts on these roads, but the roads don't lead anywhere good. They lead through Quarry Junction, where Deathclaws nest in the shadows of rusted construction equipment. They lead through Hidden Valley, where the Brotherhood of Steel decides whether your technology is too dangerous for you to keep, along with your life. They lead through Camp Searchlight, where the NCR's own radiation will cook you from the inside if you don't have Rad-X. Every landmark on a caravan route is measured in death. Turn left at the Hanging Tree. Camp 2 miles past the mass grave. If you see the burning church, you've gone too far. The worst landmark I ever used, the Courier's Mile. You probably never heard of it unless you've run the Long 15 past the Mojave. It's not on any official map. Can't be. The NCR would have to admit what happened there. 6 years back, they tried to establish a permanent trade post. Fort Abandon, the traders called it, though its real name was Fort Providence. 300 NCR soldiers, 50 civilians, all there, to protect the caravans coming through. They lasted 8 months before the Legion found them. But the Legion didn't destroy Fort Providence. The NCR did, called in an artillery strike on their own position when the Legion breached the walls. Acceptable losses, some general said from his safe bunker 200 miles away. The shells were supposed to be standard ordnance. They weren't. Someone had loaded the wrong munitions. White phosphorus mixed with some pre-war chemical weapon nobody could identify. The result? A mile-wide dead zone where the ground still glows at night, where the air itself burns your lungs, where the ghosts... No, I'm getting ahead of myself. I had to cross the courier's mile last winter. Crimson Caravan contract. Triple pay to deliver a package to their outpost on the other side. Triple pay should have been my first warning. Nobody pays triple unless... They expect you to die earning it. Had a full crew that time. 8 guards, 3 other traders, even a merc in power armor named Rex, who claimed he'd served with the Desert Rangers before they merged with NCR. We thought we were ready. We thought wrong. The mile doesn't just kill you with radiation. It makes you see things, makes you hear things. The phosphorus in the soil creates these mirages, heat distortions that look like people. The chemicals mess with your brain, make you hallucinate. Or maybe they don't. Maybe what we saw was real. In the wasteland, how can you ever really... No, first thing we lost was our pack Brahmin. Just dropped dead 300 yards in, no warning. 1 second it's walking, the next it's on the ground, foam pouring from all 4 nostrils. The Geiger counter was clicking so fast it sounded like rain on a tin roof. We should have turned back, but triple pay makes you stupid. We redistributed the load, each of us carrying what we could. Rex took the most, that T-45 power armor could handle an extra 100 pounds easy. Made it another mile before we heard them. Voices. Hundreds of voices. Men, women, children, all screaming. Not in pain. That would have been merciful. They were screaming warnings. Turn back. It's coming. They're inside us. Over and over, getting louder as we walked. Tommy, different Tommy, not the one Sarah killed. He started responding to the voices, having full conversations with air. Yes, sir, I understand. No, Mama, I won't leave you. We tried to snap him out of it, but he pulled his gun on us. Said we were Legion infiltrators. Said his squad was warning him about us. Rex had to put him down. 1 clean shot through the helmet. But Tommy kept talking for 30 seconds after he died. I swear to God, his corpse kept moving its mouth, kept whispering. Rex said it was just nerves firing. Rex was full of shit. Dead men don't form words. The package we were carrying started getting heavier. Sounds impossible, but I swear on my mother's grave, which I had to dig myself after raiders got her, that package gained weight with every step. Started at maybe 30 pounds. By the time we reached the center of the mile, I could barely lift it. That's when we saw the marked men. You know what happens when you survive a nuclear blast at just the wrong distance? Too far to die instantly, too close to escape the worst of it. Your skin melts, fuses with whatever you're wearing. The marked men of the courier's mile had been NCR and Legion soldiers when the shells hit. Now they were something else, something that shouldn't exist. Their armor had become their skin. Literally, metal plates fused with flesh, breathing through tubes because their noses and mouths had melted shut. Every movement was agony, but they moved anyway, hunted anyway, and they were smart, tactical, used hand signals, flanking maneuvers. They didn't want to rob us. They wanted to make us like them. If you've ever wondered what choice you would make in a situation like this, tell me in the comments. I'll be reading them. Rex tried to negotiate, told them we were just traders, no threat to anyone. One of the marked men actually laughed. This wet, bubbling sound like drowning in reverse. Then it held up a mirror. Just a piece of polished metal, but enough to show Rex his reflection. The phosphorus had already started working on him. His face inside that power armor helmet was beginning to bubble. Little blisters forming and popping, forming and popping. He screamed. ripped his helmet off. Bad move. The concentrated air of the mile hit his exposed skin like acid. I've seen men die every way you can imagine. Burned, shot, eaten, diseased. But watching Rex's face dissolve while he was still conscious, still trying to give orders. There are some things that break you in ways you can't fix. The marked men let us run. That was their cruelty. They knew what we were carrying, knew what it would do to us. The package wasn't supplies or tech. It was bait, a trap for the marked men that Crimson Caravan was testing. Some kind of pre-war bioweapon that reacted to phosphorus exposure. We were the test subjects. Only 3 of us made it out of the mile. Me, a ghoul named Ricky, who was already too irradiated to get much worse, and a woman called Shade who never spoke again after that day. Just stopped talking. Doctors said there was nothing physically wrong with her throat. She just chose silence. Crimson Caravan paid us, of course. Triple rate, just like they promised. Even gave us a bonus for valuable field data. I wanted to burn their outpost to the ground. Wanted to feed their executives to rad scorpions one piece at a time. But I took the caps. We all did. Because that's what we are. Whores who sell our lives by the mile. That's the truth about caravan trading. We're not heroes bringing civilization to the wasteland. We're not brave pioneers connecting settlements. We're walking dead who haven't figured it out yet, carrying poison between places that shouldn't exist, for people who see us as expendable. Assets. The big trading companies, Crimson Caravan, the gun runners, Fargo traders, they've got it all figured out. They hire desperate people, give us enough caps to think we're making progress, then send us on routes they know will kill most of us. The few who survive become experienced enough to train the next batch of corpses. You want to know the really sick part? The routes are getting worse, not better. The NCR claims they're making the roads safer, establishing law and order. Bullshit. They're making new enemies faster than they can kill old ones. Every tribe they civilize creates 10 raiders looking for revenge. Every Legion camp they destroy scatters survivors who become something worse. And now there are new players. The Institute, sending synth infiltrators that look exactly like traders you've known for years. How do you trust anyone when they could be a machine programmed to kill? You? The railroad, using caravan routes to smuggle synths, making us all targets for Institute courses. Even the Minutemen are getting involved, setting up checkpoints that are supposed to help, but just create bottlenecks where raiders know exactly where to ambush us. Last month, I ran into something new near Boston. They called themselves the Disciples. Raiders, but organized. Artistic even, in their butchery. They didn't just rob caravans, they turned them into monuments. Sculptures made from bones and Brahmin hide. Messages written in blood that could be read from the old highway overpasses. Their leader, some psycho named Nisha, had this philosophy about pain being the only truth in the wasteland. Said suffering was holy. Said everyone needed to experience it to understand reality. They kept traders alive for days, doing things I won't describe. Not because I'm trying to spare you, but because there aren't words in any language for what they did. I escaped the Disciples by selling out another caravan. There, I said it. The thing that's been eating at me like radiation poisoning. I gave them the route information for a competing trader group. 15 people. Families. Children. I sentenced them all to whatever hell Nisha had planned, just so I could live another day. You judge me. You think you'd be different. Wait until you're hanging from meat hooks, watching them peel strips off your legs while keeping you conscious with Med-X. Wait until they make you choose your life or strangers' lives. The equation gets real, simple, real fast. That caravan had a kid, maybe 12, traveling with his merchant father, learning the trade. Same age I was when I started having dreams about the open road. I wonder if they made him watch what they did to his father. I wonder if they made his father watch what they did to him. I wonder about a lot of things at 3 a.m. when the jet wears off, and I can't keep the memories quiet anymore. The wasteland doesn't judge you for these choices. It expects them. Every successful trader has a graveyard of betrayals behind them. We just don't talk about it. There's an unspoken code. You don't ask about the missing caravans. Don't question how someone survived an unsurvivable route. Don't look too close at the fresh bloodstains on found cargo. But the guilt transforms you worse than any radiation. I started taking mentats to focus, to forget. Then buff out to stay strong when the mentats wore off. Then psycho when the shakes got too bad. Before you know it, you're spending more on chems than you make from trading. You become the thing you've been running from. Just another junkie, willing to do anything for the next fix. That's when I met her. Clara. Said she was a doctor from Vault 81, needed escort to Diamond City. Clean. Beautiful in that way only Vault dwellers can be. Like the bombs never happened. She had all her teeth. You notice things like that in the wasteland. All her teeth, all her fingers, skin without radiation burns or chem scars. I should have known. Perfect people don't exist out here. They're always hiding something. We traveled together for 3 weeks. She treated my chem addiction with some Vault medicine I'd never seen before. Little blue pills that killed the hunger without the withdrawal. She talked about rebuilding, about hope, about maybe settling down together once we reached Diamond City. For the first time in 20 years, I let myself believe in tomorrow. The Institute grabbed us outside of Lexington. 1 second we're walking through a ruined suburb. The next, there's this blue flash, and men in white armor everywhere. Coursers, synth soldiers. They didn't want me. They wanted her. Turns out Clara wasn't from Vault 81. She was a runaway synth, and I'd been her cover story. But here's the thing that broke me. She didn't know. The Institute had programmed her with false memories, made her believe she was human. When they told her what she was, showed her the proof, the look on her face was the same as Tommy's when Sarah stabbed him. That fundamental betrayal of reality. They made me watch as they reset her. Wiped everything. Our conversations, our plans. That night in the old diner when she kissed me and tasted like clean water and hope. Gone. Replaced with baseline programming. She looked at me like I was nobody, because to her I was, the Institute let me go. Said I was statistically insignificant. Just another human trader, not worth the energy drain of killing. They were right. I was nothing. Am nothing. Just meat carrying other meat across dead ground for pieces of metal that only have value because we all agree to pretend they do. That was 6 months ago. Since then, I've been running the worst routes, the ones nobody else will take. Ghoul territory in the glowing sea. Super mutant camps near Trinity Tower. The Mechanist's domain where robots turn traders into improved cyborgs without asking permission. Why? Because I'm trying to die. But the wasteland won't let me. It keeps me alive as a joke. A warning. Look at Marcus Dane, 40 years old, looks 70, rattling with tumors and chem damage, still walking these roads like a ghost who doesn't know he's dead yet. Yesterday, I took a contract. I know I won't survive. Transport power cells to a Brotherhood. Bunker through gunner territory. The gunners have a kill-on-sight order for anyone supplying the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood shoots anyone who doesn't arrive on schedule. It's a death sentence either way. But that's fitting, isn't it? This whole life has been a death sentence. Every trader who sets foot on these roads is already dead. Some of us just take longer to stop moving. I've trained my replacement, kid named Joel, 17, eager, thinks the caps will make him rich. I told him the truth, all of it. The betrayals, the murders, the things you'll do to survive. He didn't believe me. They never do. The road has to teach you personally. Has to break you in its own special way. He'll learn when he's standing over his first dead partner, rifling through their pockets for caps. When he's making the choice between his morals and his life. When he realizes that every mile of road is paved with the bones of traders who thought they were different, special, survivors. The truth is, nobody survives the caravan routes. You just die in installments. Every betrayal, every lost friend, every moral compromise. They're all little deaths. By the time the wasteland finally puts you down, there's nothing left of who you started as anyway. I can see the gunners' territory from here, Quincy Ruins. They've got snipers in the church tower, machine gun nests in the old bank. They'll probably get me before I make it halfway through, but if they don't, if by some cosmic joke I survive, the Brotherhood will execute me for being late. Either way, this is my last recording. To whoever finds this holotape, probably next to my corpse, take my advice. Stay off the roads. Build walls. Grow food. Die where you were born. Don't let the road seduce you with its promises, because the road doesn't lead anywhere. It just goes on and on, eating travelers, digesting their dreams, shitting out caps that won't matter when you're gone. My name was Marcus Dane. I was a caravan trader for 23 years. I never got rich. I never found home. I never saved anyone who mattered. All I did was carry things from one grave to another, leaving pieces of my soul at every stop until there was nothing left to leave. The sun's setting now. In the wasteland. That means the real monsters wake up. But the truth is, we were the monsters all along. Walking the roads, spreading the poison, keeping this dead world shambling forward when it should have been allowed to die. Can you hear that? Gunfire in Quincy. They know I'm coming. Time to deliver my last cargo. Myself. One more corpse for the road to swallow. One more ghost story for the next generation of traders to ignore. If you're smart, you'll learn from my mistakes. If you're, like me, you'll ignore this warning and hit the road anyway. Either way, remember this. The road doesn't care about your dreams, your hopes, your carefully planned routes. The road only wants one thing: to feed, and it's always hungry.